What is up, Capricorn? How are you? How are you feeling? Okay, all right. Well, we're going to do an ancestral reading, and it's really more about the deeper spiritual questions, things that you have on your mind and your heart, Capricorn. I'm saying that because I'm going to be using the Sacred Symbol Oracle, and it's something about this deck that has a very ancestral, spiritual tone and vibe to it. And the way that the readings develop and evolve, starting with this oracle, it just feels a little bit more deeper than some of the other readings that I do on this channel. So Capricorn, that's what where we're going today. And we're going to allow the cards to fly and help us understand what it is that is calling out to you for your attention. All right, so I'm just kind of cleansing the space, Capricorn. Again, welcome. My name is Shaan. If you're new to the space, hello. All right. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Messages for Capricorn's sound decision making, joy, love, their understanding, their wisdom, their power. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. So we're going to start with, again, some sacred symbol. Okay, sacred symbol oracle for Capricorn, please. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Let's see what pops out here. And then we'll get some tarot to refine this message. All right. Relief. And beneath the deck, growth. You are going through something where you are waiting for the relief to come. It could be related to financial matters, some type of decision being made. You're waiting on a judgment or an outcome. And because of this process that you're going through right now, it's got you feeling like, okay, when is this going to be over? When is this going to break and I move on into my normal life, my abundance, or whatever that is? There's something here to grow you. There's something here to grow you, and beneath that is the full moon. So this feels like it's partly a divine thing that's happening. I'm feeling and I'm sensing the Wheel of Fortune here, but with that full moon being there and relief being the card that popped out for us, Capricorn, this feels like part of what you are being called to do is trust yourself to release something out of your life. And maybe surprisingly, that brings you a sense of great relief. You may know what this thing is. What just came through is it could have something to do with a child or your children. Maybe you are doing something for your child right now or your children, and you're holding a lot, 10 of Wands, and it might be something that you can pass off to someone else to help you with in terms of whatever this is that you're working through with your family, with your children. But it just feels like there is something that you can gain relief from by releasing it. That full moon card is intentional, and I'm feeling the energy of that deeply. All right, so let's get some tarot out here to refine this message. Now, I'm going to start with looking at what is in your recent past. We're going to get some cards out here about what's happening right now and any messages that Spirit wants to give you along the way as you continue on, as you maneuver on. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. For Capricorn, please. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Recent past. What are they coming out of? Some Hermit energy, Virgo here. Anything else? Okay. This feels like taking a pause from your regular role in some type of love or family dynamic or relationship because of some infighting, harsh words, back and forth, something in the family connection, in the relationship, something in the family dynamic in the relationship was challenging. So these are the cards that popped out. The Hermit, Ten of Cups, and the Five of Swords in your recent past. And what just kind of exploded out of my hands just now, the Nine of Wands, Two of Swords, a reverse Ten of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. So this feels like there was some type of change that happened, or there was a reluctance to accept that there was something happening in a relationship or in a family dynamic that felt kind of sneaky. It felt like there was a battle for some type of goal that you, Capricorn, you just weren't really into. It just felt like right and wrong, nastiness, cattiness, some type of distrust causing little arguments, tight energy, too many words, and some type of family relationship, some connection here. And if it's not exactly a family or relationship, it's some type of, traditionally, whatever this is, traditionally it's a harmonious relationship with you and other people. But with the Five of Swords being out here, it's kind of like that someone always needing to be right and doing whatever it takes to be right in a matter. And then a reluctance to recognizing that maybe it's time to close this situation down. I feel like that's kind of that relief that I'm sensing and feeling. I'm curious to see what the rest of the cards are going to share with us, but this definitely feels like a reluctance to accept that there was maybe someone who had two faces in your midst, in your relationship with your family or in your relationship, and maybe not exactly wanting to accept that, learning the truth about something and being reluctant to accept it, but also still being guarded. When I'm looking at this Eight of Pentacles here, this definitely feels like, maybe really still trying to work on keeping the family together, keeping the relationship solid, right? But then through that, it's like intuition was giving you some knowledge about what was really going on. It feels like there was something that was very present in your family or in your relationship dynamic or in anything that's supposed to be harmonious, and you were trying your best, Capricorn, to avoid the truth or to make it make sense or to rationalize because you wanted to keep the harmony. You didn't want to accept that there was some type of deeply important red flag in the midst going on, something happening. Okay, so that's kind of the recent past, not knowing what to choose, what to trust, too many thoughts, right? So that's your recent past. God, angel, spirit guides, tell us a little bit more. What is Capricorn working through right now? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Right now, this feels like a tough energy. An energy of struggling to self-trust, Capricorn. This could be you, or maybe you're channeling for someone as it's still connected to you, but someone having a really hard time facing a truth, a reality, that maybe some type of harmonious relationship, maybe that once was, had shifted, it was no longer there, or maybe someone was pretending to be wonderful, healthy, a great brother, sister, mom, parent, lover, a great colleague, but it was not exactly. And by going within, spending time alone, that helped you to see, or through realizing what was happening, it pushed you, Capricorn, to want to spend a little bit more time alone because you'd become distrusting. All right, God, angel, spirit guides. What's Capricorn working through right now? All right. So there's some belonging. It feels like there's a reestablishment of belonging. Oh, that's so good. You know, I want to spend some time with you, Capricorn, whoever I'm speaking to, because you did a turnaround for sure. You've moved into a different experience. That's beautiful. It's hard to shift out of closing something where we are reluctant to close in the past, and then in our current moment, we're literally sitting in the beauty of the change that we made. And that's what I'm seeing here, because you worked on this, Capricorn. You took time. This is you. So you took time to really evaluate what you needed, and it feels like you were intentional about moving on. So this relief here, all right, you're probably feeling right now a sense of relief because you made the decision that you made to move on and to grow. Okay, and that's wonderful. So great work there. I want to share with you more about what popped out here. We have you again out here. This feels like conquering fear by allowing yourself to be still just a bit. You know, if that situation that you're working out of had to do with love and relationships, you know, it's not like you weren't getting offers, Capricorn. You're incredibly attractive. You are wonderful about building and growing things. You have a wonderful, strong mind. You're appealing and attractive. So it wasn't like folks weren't trying to see what's up with you and trying to get into your energy, but it felt like you allowed yourself to say, you know what, I'm going to be still for a moment. I just want to check in with myself and see what's going on with self for a moment. And because of that, you're either experiencing or you're about to experience connecting with people who are actually in alignment with you, because you let go and dropped off what was in the past that was no longer serving you, with that Ten of Swords that feels very final, some reluctance to accept it. But apparently, looking at the energy here, you accepted that and you went ahead and moved into friendships, new employment, new relationship, new dating at the right time that made sense for you. A little bit more that I want to add to this is that if you have not exactly moved into this energy that we're picking up right now, Capricorn, it's here for you, because you are doing something in your life and you're shifting it. I think it's because you're literally letting something else fall away, close off, and that's giving you that sense of relief, that full moon energy of releasing. So that's something that's coming up really, really strong, and it's really important. Another thing that's coming up is that if you're having an issue in your relationship in the past, and all of the Ten of Swords, the Five of Swords that we just witnessed and saw and talked about, it could be that something is turning around within that same dynamic, and healing and restoration is being shared. You know, sometimes the cups can, for me as a reader, it can represent now messages are flowing, communications flowing, healthy, and now there's a restoration in the belonging. So for some of you, it might not be that you connected with someone new. It could be that the relationship is rebalancing, it's healing, and it's restoring. Something that happened in the past pushed you in your family dynamic, in your relationship or job, whatever this thing is for you, to go ahead and level up and grow into it and feel into it. And now you're becoming aligned with yourself, because we have you here twice. And then we have the Two of Cups. Could be that you're dealing with another Capricorn as well. And then we have a lot of cups on the table, but we have the Cancer cups out here. So I don't know if that makes sense for you. But this feels like also cardinal energy. So this feels like a new start. Whatever you're working through right now, it feels fresh. It feels new. It could be that this is a brand new feeling related to how you move and how you operate. Or it could just feel like a brand new chapter that you've never experienced before. And that's probably why there's a little bit of fear about what this is, because it is so brand new. You're taking a chance on yourself. But it's not a foolish chance, because the fool is not out here. It doesn't feel foolish. It just feels like I deserve it. And I know that better can happen for me, and I'm willing to put in the work to have it. Because, and beneath this card, beneath my deck, because you spent time sinking into the energy to get your wisdom, to speak to higher self, to speak to a stream of consciousness, to God. You know, you did all of the work in your own time in the quiet, right? No coincidence that this is at the bottom of the deck beneath the Eight of Pentacles, okay? So wonderful work, Capricorn. This is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see this. Restoration, rebalance, harmony, growth definitely happening here. You're definitely in that, and I can feel that very strongly. God, angel, spirit guides, any advice or insight, anything that you just want Capricorn to know right now? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. For Capricorn, please. What do you want them to know right now? Yeah, you're on. Now I have the Fool out here. This feels like be free and trust. You don't need a whole lot. This is about you right now. Yeah. Yep. All right. So what this feels like, because now we have the Four of Wands again, and it's reversed. I do accept reversals. I do. I think there are messages in every single thing that happens in a tarot reading, from the way that the incense wafts the smoke, from the way the cards land, a fragrance. I take everything in. So I'm going to let that rest as a reversal in terms of this advice that's coming through. Beneath the deck, what this feels like is a caution. Like, it feels like Spirit is wanting to remind you that you have all of the tools that you need on your journey in love. For those of you where you might be entering into a new friendship after the pain from the past, a new relationship after the pain from the past with all of those swords, you might feel a little bit guarded and distrusting of this new person that's coming into your life, because you definitely have this in your aura. If you have not attracted this new person, you will likely soon if you're open to that. And this feels like for those of you where you are going into a new chapter and you are moving into love again, it's important for you to listen to your intuition this time. It's important for you to trust that you have every intuitive tool. Sometimes if we experience deceit in a connection, or someone showing up as a representative, and then all of a sudden the real person comes out after 5 months, and it's like, whoa, woo, how did I miss this? We can get into our minds. We can get really cerebral. Like, okay, maybe I'm just not cut out to be able to pick a good partner or friend or lover. And what these cards say here to me in this reading is that you have always been able to recognize the red flags. You are always able to see the signs of someone who's not a healthy person for you and for your growth and for your level up, right? But this time, it's okay to slow down and take your time. If you're ever dealing with someone and it does not feel exactly welcoming, there are signs in the connection that let you know that it's kind of out of balance, that maybe it's not as clear, what the belonging looks like in this connection, what that love looks like in the connection. It feels like Spirit wants you to trust that, because, you're on a journey again. It's time to start the cycle over again and get ready for the next test on the journey, to see if this time around, when you're dealing with folks, because that's kind of how this goes, you have lessons until you learn it, and then you move into another journey. But you're visiting the High Priestess right now, right, on your journey. So in this, trust what you hear and accept that. You're guarded, rightfully so, Capricorn. You've been through something very, very real, okay? But it's all right to, you have all the tools, Capricorn. I know I've said that like 18 times, I think, but this feels like it's going to be really important. I wish I could just sit with you and tell you, you got this. Don't be afraid. The past is the past. You've gone through the Four of Cups stuff where you're beneath that tree, like, I'm good, no, I'm chilling. You have everything that you need. And love, joy, happiness, all of this gold here, especially with the Fool, this is intelligence. This is wisdom for me as a reader. That gold, that yellow, that means that you have it. So trust yourself and have fun. You have your boundaries in place right here, and it's okay to have that. And it's also okay to continue growth, and enjoying your life. Capricorn, my love cup, that is what I have for you. Thank you for popping in again and saying, hey. It's good to see you, and I hope I see you next week in another 4 Paths Healing Tarot reading. Take care of yourselves. Bye.